Welcome to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. The final bell has rung and the market is now closed. So let's move on to an audio and video recap with the Investing Happy Hour.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. My name's Austin Newsome, better known as Intern Austin to some of you out there. This is your Investing Happy Hour. Today is Monday, July 25th. Let's go ahead and jump right into the markets. The Dow today closed just under 0.5%, while the S&P finished down about 0.33%. The NASDAQ was pretty much flat today, but it did close just under at 0.05%, while the global Dow was down about 0.1%. In terms of gold and oil, gold was down about 0.6% today, while oil was down a full 2.5% today. And that's our first big headline for today is oil. Oil futures ended today at their lowest level since last April, and a lot of people are attributing this to more active rigs in the U.S., which is driving the cost of oil down. And in terms of the indices as a whole, this doesn't really come as a surprise, as investors are really anxiously awaiting the big week ahead. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of earnings reports coming out this week for a lot of big companies. And there's also a lot of central bank meetings that are really going to determine the future of the market, not only for the week thereafter, but also for the next coming months. Our next big headline today is Poképlunge. Nintendo today was down 18% following a statement released saying that basically Pokemon Go is not really making them that much money. I think a lot of people overestimated what this app was going to do for Nintendo's revenue. But seeing the way that the app is divided in terms of Niantic is one San Francisco-based portion of the company, and then the actual headquarters in Japan, and there's another third party. It's not only all getting split up, but there's also no ads in the game itself. So there's no ad revenue. It's only in-game purchases that revenue can come from. So the stock really took a beating today as people basically said, okay, well, if this is not going to go any higher, then I'm getting my money now. So Nintendo was down big today. And the third biggest headline today was Smith & Wesson. They announced today, just after the markets closed, that they will be buying Crimson Trace in a deal worth $95 million. And this new company will serve them as, quote, an ideal platform, Smith & Wesson said, for their new electro-optics division. So gun people like me, very excited to see that. That's going to be an interesting duo there to see what type of products they will now be mutually releasing. So that was a big headline after the close. In terms of today's biggest winners and losers, the biggest loser today was Chesapeake Oil, and that's not really a surprise. I mean, oil was down 2.5% today, and the Chesapeake stock price fell about 4.5% today. So some correlation there. One of the biggest winners today was actually Nordstrom, and in asking a fellow portfolio analyst, we don't really know why, but they were up today about 4.5%, so good for them. But other than that, we're not really sure why they jumped like that. We might have an answer for you tomorrow, but you'll have to stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow morning for your morning market mimosa. As for whether or not who it's going to be, I have no promises. It might be Andrew, it might be me. Heck, it might even be Scotty Valiani. I would love to see him on there, but you'll have to keep an eye out. Make sure to hit subscribe and leave a 5-star review. We always love reading those on air. If you write us a 5-star review, we promise we will read it as long as it's appropriate. But that's been your Investing Happy Hour. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, and we'll see you guys then.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.